playlist. Emmy, Liz, how the heck are you?
Pretty good.
Good.
Yeah, I was kind of going up to the wire with this one. I found out about this interview yesterday, so I was finishing it just moments ago,
Oh
but
God.
only because I thought I had time to easily watch all eight. But then my wife came home last night and she was like, I wanted to watch it. So we started it over. So I
Oh my
watched the
God,
first
cool.
few more than once.
Cool.
Yeah, but it's great. It really is excellent. And
You.
yeah, it starts out as this like cat and mouse thriller, but the cat has trauma, the mouse may have a point. Neither one is especially, behaving for the audience.
People don't talk enough about cat trauma, so
Exactly. Cat trauma's hard stuff, man. You probably should have retitled it before it comes out, but it's too late now. It's too late. The marketing's out. So how do you two end up connecting? Because I don't know how you two connect. And then how do you decide that this is the show you make together?
I was like so into the idea of just digging into these two female characters of just like this female serial killer, female FBI agent, and the possibilities for just really mining what's going on in their minds. I think the movie is really cool, and the Teresa Russell, Deborah Winger's performances are amazing. My favorite part of the movie is the the kind of very weird, amazing section towards the end where you have the female serial killer and the female FBI agent just hanging out at the beach.
There's a
And
very
it's
weird
like,
scuba section.
You
Yeah.
missed an
yeah, and it's,
opportunity to recreate that. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, listen, we
The
tried to,
pitch, the pitch was there. I was like, where, how do we work our beach into the budget? Didn't
yeah,
happen.
yeah, it ended up in a very different place. But yeah, but just the fact that in some ways it's a story about the love between these two women, or it's just at
Yeah.
least, I mean, I don't know if love is the right word, but it's a story about like two women who are very isolated and disconnected in their lives, finding each other and actually, seeing each other in a way that they haven't been seen before. And to tell that story in the middle of, a very twisty crime thriller kind of genre story was felt really exciting for me, and honestly like was the way that I felt like I could write it.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I'm not, what I love are I love writing character stuff, and I'm not as much like, you know I'm not, being hired to write James Bond movies.
Well, maybe you should. No, but I was watching this and I was saying, God, this is like dark, very dark, real material, but also incredibly addictive and propulsive and complex. And it doesn't sand down any edges. It's very digestible. Like,
Mhm.
how do you turn that without sanding down the humanity on it?
One big reason is on this Zoom with us,
Yeah.
which is the performance of Emmy, and just bringing so much to the screen. The character, like there's you feel for her, but you're not getting the whole story. Which I
Yeah.
think for me, I've like this isn't a whodunit. Like we know who the killer is in the first few minutes, so all of the tension in the story has to be because you are fascinated by these two women, because you want to know what got them to this point. And the only way that that was going to work was by having two incredible performances from Emmy and Lola, which we
Yeah.
ended up getting. And I feel like that was that's why it works. So
Yeah.
That's kind and very generous. But I also think that Liz has a very unflinching way of looking at humanity and finds such specificity in character that really I mean the fact that, in the pilot, Liz has my character who is a former NYPD detective who started over fresh at the FBI. She's a victim of violence. And we know that she's run from that relationship and from that violence in her past, but has become so disconnected from herself that we see her swiping and finding guys, strangers to come over to hook up. No,
Yeah.
to fight. So I think that knowing that Liz has a way of looking at things and not creating perfect victims is really special. Liz has a history of writing incredible female characters in everything she's done.
Yep.
So I feel like we got really, really lucky. And we also had a network that never asked us to pull back, never asked us not to do something, never encouraged us to make something softer. Asked a lot of questions of like, what does this mean? And make sure we understand and you understand what we're saying about the character and about society and about these people who are on this collision course towards each other, who are more similar than they are different, but they never pulled us back from that. And so we had everybody swimming in the same direction.
Yeah, I love the crossover, like you were saying, between you and the killer, but like the specific thing of they're both really good at changing on a dime and adapting in the moment and reading people and getting what they need out of people. Were you having conversations about how trauma creates that skill and how intentional?
I was just about to say that's what it's like to be a woman, but
fair enough.
I think that yes, definitely. I mean, that's really interesting thing about both characters is the worst thing that's ever happened to them makes them
superpowers.
Gives them a superpower, you know, which I think is like a really great place to start with a character. I mean, Lola's character has been trafficked, and the research I did about trafficking, there's a lot of, hiding in plain sight. These are women that are ignored and underestimated, and Lola Catherine uses that as a way of escaping and getting away with things because no one's looking at her, nobody's paying attention to her. And similarly, I think Alice's character is a little bit more, I'm this thing happened to me, I'm not going to deal with it, and the show is sort of watching Alice's character kind of like have to deal with it. But I mean, these are all, I think for a lot of women, these are all really familiar places to be, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah.
Emmy, there's this element in the first episodes where your character literally stinks for a specific reason, and it's a very specific character reason, and there are multiple approaches as an actor. I spoke with Jude Law about a movie he recently did where he had a perfumer make him like a funk, basically, that he just bathed himself in.
Was it Henry VIII? Was he?
Yes,
when he was
exactly.
Yeah.
I heard cast and crew could smell him rooms away. And then I was thinking to myself, did she do that? And then immediately going, talk about double standards. Do you think an actress could get away with something that absurd on a set like this?
I don't know. It didn't occur to me.
Yeah.
Although she does have a specific scent that I wear that's like a coffee / croissant smell.
Nice.
But I honestly think that when you smell bad, you get so used to how you smell that you don't smell yourself. So and she's not really aware or wanting to understand that she smells bad because she can't get in the shower because of trauma.
Yeah.
I think that it's that there's a lot of shame around smelling bad in our society. It's kind of like, oh God, that smells. Or when I think bodies are bodies. And I think the fact that, Liz and the network didn't shy away from the fact that, oh, she hasn't washed her hair, her scalp probably smells, right? There were different ways of showing it and doing it.
Yeah.
It was a really good metaphor for me of trauma. I feel like because it's a thing that keeps people away from you, right? Like it's a way of distancing yourself from the world, and you don't smell it, but everyone around you does, and it's like, I don't know, like it's something that can be in the room without being seen, but it's always there, so it felt like a really good, way of kind of getting in this backstory, because you have this is a twisty crime thriller. There are like new
super dense
pieces of information, dense clues coming in, so I was like, okay, how do I keep alive her incredibly painful story of how she got to the point where she got? And it was like a way of sort of doing that in the midst.
It's also like oddly funny, and Liz has a way of like having like perversely dark funny, like in the middle of like a a witness interview. They're like, why you smell really really bad, and that like feeling like you have to persevere and interview this person when you stink is like, it's just like a funny dark thing as well that like you later find out is actually so sad.
Yeah. And I love that the comedy writer still comes out just in these jabs to like let the air out. Like the show.
You have to. I mean,
Yeah.
it's too intense a subject matter. It's too dark. And I feel like that's part of like the perfect victim sort of problem, is that like a lot of these stories, people don't watch these stories. They're too dark, they're too intense. Because people feel like they can't give you a release from it. But I think you get, the audience pays attention more when you feel like you're not getting like hit over the head constantly with pain. You know, I think
Yes.
it's like you need moments where you're laughing in order to actually listen better to what the darker things are. And I was lucky enough to like, I feel like our cast, like Steve Way, like our cast is like just, you know,
Rob
Rob
Delaney. Yeah.
Delaney, like just like
Rob
Incredible.
is great.
Incredible actor.
Rob Yang,
Oh my God, so
incredibly
funny.
funny. But like just these people that are like so funny and like bringing that, but understanding the tone. I've never been afraid of. I don't think comedy takes away from drama at all.
No, no, it's a
Like,
tool.
yeah, yeah.
And sometimes you need to talk about bad oral sex and gazpacho in the same sentence and just let the air out. I friggin' love that. And the kid who's just going on about vulvas and
Yeah.
oh my God, there's so many great little moments in
I
there.
think that came from Dying for Sex, because I had to say vulva so many times in like different like prop meetings and stuff where I was like, I have to address it.
So good. So is producer Emmy is responsible for making sure the audience stays with Alice.
Mhm.
Actor Emmy, you know, has to make Alice frustrating and obsessive and occasionally unlikable. Do those two sides ever argue with each other, or do you feel like it's a lot more harmonious than people
No, I
think?
mean, I feel like the gift of being on something as a producer from the start is that you get to embed with the other creatives so much that you understand the DNA. And so much of when you get a script that you haven't been part of developing is getting up to speed, understanding and getting in lockstep with all of the other creative people so that you're all making the same thing. But when you've started, you know, with Liz from day one, you know, you're marinating in it for so long that by the time I walked on set, Liz and I had also done so much research, and I had done so much training with FBI agents, former and
Mm,
current, and former and current NYPD detectives, that I felt like I was in season 2 or 3 on the first day.
that's
So it
cool.
was really a gift.
Oh, wow.
And I
That's
mean,
awesome.
it was weird that she made us call her producer Emmy and actor Emmy, like in different situations, but that was, I could
LOL.
roll with it. No, I was honestly, I was a little worried. I was like, oh my gosh, like the main actor is the executive producer on this. Like, how's that gonna go? And I was just blown away. I think Emmy, because of her years of experience, because Emmy's been working for so long and like just gets it. Like I was so blown away by how good of a producer she could be, and then sort of like she would give a note and then she'd be able to kind of like walk away and like do her job as an actor. You know, it's like it was I was really like impressed. I haven't told you that, Emmy. I was waiting to do it publicly in an interview.
You've done an
Thank
amazing
you.
job, Emmy. You really have. Uh,
Guys, thank you so much. I'm gonna remember this when I feel bad about myself. Thank you very
good.
much.
Good. Liz, I need to make a wildly irresponsible tonal pivot before we run out of time. I was
Oh,
just
Yeah.
talking with Jake Johnson, huge New Girl
Oh, okay.
fan. I've seen it multiple times myself. The show is still growing every day. It seems like people are kind of becoming
It's
rabid.
wild. It's wild.
Yeah.
I mean, I when it was over, I really thought like, God, that's it. Like it's gonna disappear now. And I was just I can't, it sounds like it's like I'm lying, but like I find it so moving that like people still watch it, and that because I worked so hard on it.
Yeah.
So it was like you know, I find it really moving.
So
And
does the idea of a reunion become more accessible to you, or is it just like, no, we're not
somebody
touching
asked
it?
me this question yesterday, and I did such a bad job of answering it that I actually texted Jake Lamar and Hannah last night, and I was like, I'm so sorry for whatever I said yesterday. Um, but I mean, I just I don't know. You know, it would be, it would be exciting. But also just, I feel like I really would have to like have my head around why we were
Hmm.
doing it. But I mean, I do love those people. I text them. I wish I saw them more, but I Jake makes me like he's been doing all the press for the Dink, and just everything he's been doing, I've just, because it comes up on my algorithm, and like
Yep.
I'm just dying. And you know, there are just moments where you're like, I grew up with these people. They make me laugh in a way that like nobody makes me laugh. And you
Yeah.
know, it was like hard but great.
I'd love more, but I also love the game he and Lamorne are playing where they're just blaming each other with outright lies of why it's not happening.
Well, they
So
blame me. That's what they do. Like I was like, I don't have a me to blame, you know? Like they're always like, well, if Liz wants to do the reunion, we will. And I'm like, you guys, that is not how the world works. Like
it is how the
stop.
world works, Liz. It's your call. They're gonna kick me out of here. They're gonna pull me out of here like 5 minutes ago. Furious premieres on July 27th with 3
Yeah.
episodes, and then through August 31st. It is so good.
Thank you.
Congratulations again here, ladies.
Thank you so much. Thank
Awesome.
you.